Hello, welcome. Uh, so, first of all, this video, the second part of this video is late, and the first part of this video is also late. Two parts. One, what I read in February, and two, what I read or what I want to read in March. It is 2024. I don't know how many videos I've posted so far this year. Not many. This lighting is interesting. That's worse. Okay, we're just gonna do that, I guess, because that's what my camera wants to do. So you can see, we have a bit of a new setup. Well, it's not really new. It's the same thing. It's the same. Well, wait, have I done this setup before? No, I haven't. We have some posters, Marilyn Monroe, as you can see. We got a chair, a bed. Books I read in February. Let's get going. Let's do it. Oh, happy Saturday. Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Now, my TBR for February, which stands for To Be Read, if you don't know, that was Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, Stories I Only Tell My Friends, so on and so forth. I'll put the pictures up here because I do not currently remember them, but they're there, so yeah. Anyway, I read 1.5 of those books and did not read anything else. First one was Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. I read it. It's like 56 pages, so 54. I don't know why I was thinking it's 56. 54 pages. I adored this book. It's so short. Oh, I forgot how small the text was. Well, it looks a lot bigger on camera, strangely. Anyway, obviously you know the story of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. It's like the same person, and then one's like this nice doctor, and the other one's this like grotesque, really evil guy that's like, there's like a split personality almost, but it's like physically split. It's just two different people, not even personalities, just two different people in one body. And you find that out, you know, throughout the story or whatever. Really interesting, really well written. I want to read more Robert Louis Stevenson because I love the way this was written. Very packed full of vocabulary. Maybe I'll read Treasure Island next because I do have like 3 editions of that, and I should probably read one before I keep collecting it. Although that probably won't happen. I'll probably still keep collecting it, even if I didn't like the book, because, you know, library one day, maybe. Anyway, loved it. Yeah. And then the other half of a book I read is Stories I Only Tell My Friends by Rob Lowe, which is his autobiography. The reason I didn't finish it is because it was just taking me such a long time. Because I have this thing, and I think it's really common, that like if I'm reading a book for a certain amount of time and I'm not consistently reading a bit of that book every however often, you know, like every day or something like that, then it just, it's so difficult to not be excruciatingly bored while reading. Even if it's a book I'm really enjoying, if I just go so long without reading that book for that period of time, my brain turns it off as an option to read. So I ended up returning that to my English teacher because I had borrowed it from her. And, you know, maybe I'll revisit it one day. But I am trying to start this new thing where I don't put so much pressure on myself to read, because I've been putting so much pressure on myself to read all the time, and I don't enjoy it as much. So when I put less pressure on myself to read, I enjoy it so much more. So yeah, that's why. So I only read half of it. I did really, really enjoy the part I read because I do love autobiographies and memoirs and biographies and essays and stuff like that on, especially just like people in general, random people, famous people, whatever, but especially from people in the entertainment industry or the music industry or the fashion industry, any like visual industry, if that makes sense, like movie industry, music industry. I guess entertainment would be those. Wait, I don't know. I'm not well versed in those things. I just know the things that I just said, but I do love memoirs and biographies and autobiographies about that. I just love learning about somebody's life, especially when they're like, when it's like a first-hand experience, like first person telling you what happened. Kind of feels like you're just having a conversation with them, and I love that. So yeah, it was great. I still can't remember the other 2 books I read, but you know already, and I cannot remember. Or the other 2 books I wanted to read. What were they? This is gonna drive me crazy. I'm gonna check real quick, just so I know. Was it 4 or is it 5? I don't even remember. Enjoyment. Oh my god, it's already 8 minutes long. I haven't even gotten through 1 book. Moving on. So that was the books that I read in February. 1.5. Go me. Really, it's fine. I was like disappointed at first because I was like, it was only 4 books. You had 1 job. No, I have many jobs. I have. I sometimes kick myself because I don't read as much as like a booktuber, but the thing is, that's their job. They're paid to read, and I'm a student, and I also have, you know, stuff that goes on in my brain that sort of prevents me sometimes from being able to do simple tasks, you know. I need to be able to sleep, I have homework to do, I have coffee to drink. No, but yeah, I mean, I have things going on, because, you know, and I don't even have a job, you know what I mean? And my hope is for like YouTube to be my job one day, and that would be wonderful, because then I could just read that much. But I'm not a booktuber, so obviously I'm not going to be able to read as much as a booktuber does unless it's like the summer and I have absolutely nothing else going on, and I force myself to read, because reading is still something that I have to sort of force myself to do, even though I still really enjoy it. My default is putting on Netflix or YouTube or music. Music lately has been the biggest outlet for any emotion I'm feeling. Like, if I'm feeling really happy, I'll put on a song and I'll just like vibe to it. If I'm feeling really sad, then I'll put on a sad song and I'll cry. Well, I won't cry, but you know what I mean. I'll get really angry, I'll put on angry music, stuff like that. It's just, music has been music has been a really great coping mechanism for me for a lot of things. It's so grainy. I'm so sorry. Anyway, the first book I would love to read this month is Tuck Everlasting by Natalie Babbitt. Babbitt, not Babbitt. Babbitt. Natalie Babbitt. This is a really short book. 139 pages. I've been wanting to read this for years. I got it at a thrift store in Florida a few years, like 1.5 years ago. Actually, you know what? No, I think it was 2 years ago. No, 1.5. I don't know. It doesn't matter. I wanted to read it for a couple of years, and I got this recently. Well, not recently. 1.5, whatever. Tuck Everlasting. This is about a young girl named Winnie Foster, and she discovers this family who is apparently immortal because they drank from this like magical spring that they found hundreds of years ago, and she basically spends like a few days with them, and she just experiences life, like what life is like with the Tuck family, which is of course the family that she finds, and you know, the story continues from there, and yeah, I'm excited. Okay, next book is Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. I've had this edition for a couple of years now. I got it from thrift books like a year, maybe not even, after I started getting into reading again, which was in like 2021, so that was definitely a couple of years ago. This, I don't think I might need to explain what this is about, because I didn't really know what this was about. All I know is there's a girl named Elizabeth Bennet and a man named Mr. Darcy, and it's like a romance between those two, but there's a lot of other characters to combat with. I think I did already start reading this. I'm like 75 pages in, which is actually kind of a good bit. I don't know if you can see that. Kind of a good bit. Okay, it's like a fifth of the way. I really don't know I really don't know much else about this book. Just that it's really popular. I like the way it's written. It's very like complex language, like for me though, because I haven't read like a lot of adult classics, if that makes sense. I've only read like children's classics like Anne of Green Gables, Wind in the Willows, Peter Pan, so on and so forth. But I'm excited to read that, and I hope I like it. Yeah. Last book I would love to read this month. I got it from the library a few days ago. I'm not sure when. And that is The Reading Promise, My Father and the Books We Shared. Can't really see that. By Alice Ozma. Ozma? I'm not sure. First of all, coolest freaking cover. I love it so much. Secondly, I saw this before and it just didn't catch my interest at all. But then I saw it there the other day and I just really wanted to read it. Anyway, yeah, this is exactly what the title says. It's just this girl talking about her life, or not her life, her thing where she read every night with her dad, and they called it The Streak, something like that. And yeah, it's just her and her dad telling the story of her and her dad when they read all the time. That's really all I know about it. I'm sorry. But yeah, the font is pretty big. It's a pretty normal sized book. Yeah, like 300 something pages, I think. Or actually, no, 200 something pages. Oh, cool. Oh, cool. They include a list of books from the reading streak. That's so cool. Okay. 270 pages, so not even 300. So yeah, I think I will be able to read these books, and if I'm not for some strange reason, then I'm not, and that's okay. And yeah, it's just there. 4 books. What? No, 3 books. 3 books in this month. 1 book last month. 1.5 books, excuse me. Sorry, Roblo. But yeah, just remember, don't try to pressure yourself so much. Like, if you say you want to read more, focus on reading less, if that makes any sense. I was reading a book a few years ago called Reading Like a Writer, and it's by Francine Prose. That woman knows how to get you excited about reading, let's just say that. Absolutely remarkable. It's insane. But I was reading, and she was saying something about how if you really want to read more and you want to really go out there and really enjoy what you're reading and experience all of this literature, focus on slowing down. Specifically, I would research close reading. That's exactly what it's called, close reading. I would research that and look at what that is, because it is so enlightening. It's sort of how you learn how to read when you were younger. And you just sort of redo that, except you already know how to read. But it's just, you're paying extra close attention to the words and the sentences that you're using. It's really cool and really great. Yeah, that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'm sorry I haven't posted for so long. I'm gonna sort of hunker down and edit this video, edit a few other videos that I have just lying around, and try and get this all scheduled out. And we're gonna try and get on a roll again. But then I'm also not going to try and put too much pressure on myself with this either, because then I kick myself and feel bad about myself and whatever about myself when I didn't get anything done, because I was putting so much pressure on myself, plus I have so many other things to do. It's fine. It's fine. Also, I lost an earring, and that made me sad, because I like the earring. Or maybe I didn't. Maybe it didn't look hard enough. Who knows? Point is, I will see you guys next Saturday. Happy Saturday. See you next Saturday. Hope you're having a good day, and have a good rest of your day. Bye!